Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the one, the only, Kyle Charles. That's a bit self-indulgent, but anyways. So, this is part 2 of our Superman Rogues Gallery discussion. As in the last video, the other one, we had to split into two because we went on for ages talking about it. But now, this is part 2, so I hope you all enjoy. And off to my co-host, who's probably going to start this episode. Catch you at the end.
Now, shifting on to from Darkseid to Doomsday. Now, I know we did a whole episode on Doomsday.
Yeah. So keep it short, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just keep it real short and just ask for your final opinions on Doomsday as far as the ranking in the Superman's Rogue Gallery is. Like, in One Trick Pony, would you say he's overused? Would you say he hit his peak?
He is
at
peak
the first...
and he's done. In my personal opinion, he's done.
I like the ideas of the evolution and what you can tweak with that, but you can only go so far because you can't beat up Superman. You can beat him up, you can't kill him again, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
the
character for me. He's just I think we said in our episode dedicated to him, like, just be put to rest for now. For like, it's just, what can you sort of do with him now?
Yeah, you can't, like, he's not as flexible as Lex Luthor or General Zod or Brainiac, all these other, or Darkseiders we've talked about, because, you know, he can't enact another plan other than going to punch Superman in the face. Yeah. Even though somehow as well he evolved to be massive. Yeah. And I didn't like how they jobbed out Darkseid to Doomsday. They should have been a longer, bigger fight. Drag out. Should have been like Darkseid and Doomsday basically destroying Apocalypse with their fight. Yeah. And then Darkseid be like, allow this, right? I can't rule over nothing. Yeah. Teleport this guy away somewhere else. Like, you know, I'm fed up of fighting him because
he's an annoyance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's no annoying. Yeah. It's like he loves to fight. I fight when I need to, but well, it's not doing me any favors to fight him. Right now. Yeah. I've had enough of my fill of him. Get rid of him. Send him elsewhere. No, instead he just gets, somehow as well, he survived the Omega Beams, but I guess Darkseid is like, I can vary my power of the Omega Beams when I want to, whenever it's plot convenient, right?
Yeah, I say, when it's plot convenient,
Yeah. I think Superman survived an Omega Beam somehow, right?
Yeah, but Superman, for some reason, I can buy him surviving one, because I don't know.
Like how Superman survived when Doomsday straight up tried to uppercut him in the chest for some reason with his spikes. Yeah. And Superman no-sold it. And then Doomsday did a Ryu wind-up kick to Superman's chest and sent him flying. In a one page later, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So that's some wackiness. But I like what they did writing the original of Doomsday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That gave him a reason to have his goals. Well, I say his goals, but he don't really. Gives him something to do further on. Yeah.
But now.
Yeah.
Wait, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. I can't remember if I mentioned this during our episode of Doomsday. So I'm just going to cover it now, just in case. But there was one time where Doomsday had his intelligence.
Okay, yeah.
Magog took Superman and tortured him or whatever it is, and this is way in the future because he made it look like he killed Superman, and then so for thousands of years Doomsday was fighting in the future as part of the legacy of Superman.
Yeah.
Finally gets to the Citadel where where Magog's just been torturing Superman for like 1,000 years, plus, right? And then Superman's like, trying to talk Gog out of it. Magog saying, "Look, you got your power to do so much. Why are you being petty, right?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna just spend all this time torturing me for no reason, right?"
Yeah.
And then Doomsday's like there. He wraps Superman in his cape because Superman's dying, and then he's like, Magog's like, you know what? Actually, if he can turn a monster like you into the side of good, or something along these lines, maybe I am wrong after all. And then so he goes back in time, with intelligent Doomsday, to stop that bit of that timeline forever happening.
Okay.
Turning Doomsday back into dumb Doomsday, which is the best Doomsday, I'd say, because smart Doomsday. I don't know. You know how you got different versions of the Hulk. You got Savage Hulk. You got Professor Hulk. You got Joe Fixon. I say the most classic, best version of the Hulk is Savage Hulk.
Yeah.
Because it's got Banner to be the opposition, right?
Yeah.
Doomsday doesn't really have personality.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be weaker when he had some sense of intelligence.
Yeah.
So I would say, I think classic Doomsday with the original version of Doomsday is probably the like that version is the best. Even though I said, like we're saying, he gets bigger and bulkier during time to make him look more like a monster. But that's because I guess they also draw other Superman villains bigger, and Doomsday being the one that killed Superman can't be smaller than them. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like that. That's a bit. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but like we were saying, he gets a bit. What can you do with Doomsday to be more creative? He's not really a creative character, you know.
Nope. It's like
yeah. So
at this point.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where
years or whatever.
Yeah, come up with something unique for that character to do to progress him or to do with him.
Yeah. And
maybe you'll get But other than that, yeah. It's not really. No. It's not a lot there, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. You got nothing to say about Doomsday? Or do you think we already covered it in our Doomsday episode?
Enough.
Yeah. Moving on. All right. All right. Take a pause a second. When do you need to go?
Soonish.
All right. Mixes Picklick. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Mixer Picklick. Yes. I think
actually, yeah. There was a spelling that mixed up one of the other letters. I don't know if it was the Y and the X got mixed around at one time. Anyways. Yeah. How much do you know about this guy?
That he's an imp from the fifth dimension. Is that correct? Right.
Yep. And if he says his own name backwards, he disappears.
That's how you defeat him.
So the first, I think the first time I read a story on this guy was the John Byrne reboot back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he appeared. He said, "Oh, I'm a fifth dimensional, whatever." He makes the typewriter on the top of the billboard actually magically appear, and then he just bangs some random letters. Go, yeah, that's my name. Oh. And then he menaces Superman by animating buildings to walk and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
causing trouble. And Superman's like, look, you chatting rubbish because you just hit the keyboard and put random letters. That's not a name, and I bet you can't do it again, right? Yeah. So he flies the keyboard over to him. And so Mrs. Picklet starts hitting those keyboards saying, I'm going to use my magic to make exactly the same letters. And then he's like, what? My name is backwards. And then he disappears. And the Superman's like, yes, because I rewired all the letters to go the other way around. I was like, oh, okay. That's one way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not just it's like if he writes his name backwards or some other ones. I'm sure if you've seen the Superman animated series, there's a whole bunch of them that Superman did.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I don't remember them off the top of my head. So that's how I was first introduced to Manipulate someone. It's really kind.
Yeah, there's a version in Supergirl.
What, a TV show?
The TV series.
Yeah.
And he tried to marry her, right? And she's like, no, that ain't gonna happen. And then he's like, well, okay, I'll just blow up the fortress of. She said you got to come to a fortress. Oh no! I think he bugs her enough, and he causes so much trouble that she's like, all right, I'll marry you. Come to a fortress of solitude.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right. And then she's like, you know what? I've set everything on lockdown now, and it's going to be self-destruct. Yeah. All right. And he goes, no, please tell me. I won't. I promise. I won't do anything. Tell me, how do we get out of here? She goes, there's a self-destruct button over there, but you just press it and it'll stop the self-destruct, right? Yeah. And he presses it, and it's Kryptonian, right? So he can't read it, and the button actually spells his name backwards. So I thought, okay, fine.
Okay, that's a good workaround.
Yeah. I think I remember a version in Smallville. Mikhail mixes Picklick. The first time I've heard this name spoke in actual audio, and you never guess where he was from.
Well.
Russia.
Oh, I get. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And he had the powers to manipulate. He said luck, right? But more like he could manipulate people. So if he said to you, like, and you're walking around, and he said fumble, you'd fall over because But you know how it is, where it's like, you manipulate the people to fall over, or is it like your luck-based powers adjusting stuff to yeah. Anyway, she beats him with a high. They beat Chloe in Smallville, and Clark beat him with some sort of high frequency whatever to so they interfere with the signals he sent. Yeah, that's what I know about that version. And then, have you ever read Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow?
Wait, that sounds. Wait, explain it to me. I might have, but
it's the 8 animals write-off for the pre-crisis version of Superman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an imaginary story because wink, wink, nudge, nudge, as he says in the text. Aren't they all? Right?
Yeah.
And Mixed Picklick turns out to be the main nemesis that was getting all Superman's enemies together. And with all Superman's enemies, there weren't very much of them. It was like a roster of like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're going through this already, and we've already gone past that. No, actually, we haven't. But we, if you're getting all Superman's enemies together, you get a bit more than. Yeah. What? So he got Brainiac. I remember you saying about Brainiac taking over Lex Luthor, right? Actually happened in this comic as well. So Lex Luthor himself wasn't a main nemesis, and he just Bizarro. Brainiac just kind of Brainiac helmeted on Lex Luthor's body.
He uses a vessel.
Then it was Bizarro in there. The reverse versions of the Legion of Superheroes. Yeah, the Cosmic King, Saturn Woman, and Lightning Lord. And they peace outed after a while. Them three, because Superman got angry and they're like, peace out. Anyways, the Kryptonite Man. And some other minor ones. That's actually really good. It's a good story, considering how many, like, all of a sudden, the other heroes of the Earth conveniently were outside of force field that got erected around the Fortress of Solitude, but Jimmy Olsen and Lana Lang empower themselves with the whatever, when Jimmy Olsen's Elastic Lad and stuff like that, and they go down fighting, and Crypto the Super Dog, he bites Kryptonite Man, so and then Brainiac basically says, I know here it'll be the Reverse Legion of Superheroes, basically saying, this is the day that Superman's greatest villain comes to destroy him, and Brainiac's like, it was me. And then he gets done, right? So it's like, well, who's the mastermind behind all these plans, getting these people together and all that? It turns out it's Mixes Picklick, right? And Mixes Picklick was like, well, it took me 2,000 years to gain consciousness, and then 2,000 years of party time. But you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, Superman, and be like 2,000 years of being depressed and wallow in sadness because I killed you and I have no party. So yeah, that's my next evolution. I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, yeah, all right. So then Superman goes to get the Phantom Zone projector.
Yeah.
And Mixes Picklick's like, you know what, Superman? I'm actually sorry. I can go to the Phantom Zone. And he says his name while the Phantom Zone projector gets switched on. So he gets torn in half between dimensions and he dies.
Oh, does he die?
Well, he does die in that continuity.
Oh.
Yeah, for real. He got split in half. But yeah, that was one of the other stories that I remember Mixes Picklick in. Otherwise I don't know too much of him. Oh, other than do you know about Emperor Joker?
Yeah, doesn't Joker get the powers of Mr. Picklick or Bat Imp or whatever it is?
Yeah. So and what he does with his powers obviously is mess up the DC universe, but he gets Batman and tortures him.
Yeah.
And then he resurrects Batman and tortures him the next day as well.
Yeah.
Right? All sorts of crazy magical torture because he's the Joker, yeah?
Yeah.
And yep. and he left him a broken mess, yeah?
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, and all that stuff. Because Joker gonna Joker. Superman, being the bud that he is, goes, all right, I'll take all his memories of that stuff, so he don't never need to suffer, be traumatized by that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, Superman's a good guy. And then I'm like, so you remember the Dark Knight Returns continuity?
Yeah.
I'm like, if that story ever happened in that continuity, and this Batman is just being just blazing Superman all the time, Superman should just say, yo, Batman, you forgot something, and just give him back those memories and go, yeah, that's what you deserve.
Take that now, leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, yeah. So not much to say about Mixes Picklet on your.
The only like sort of story I like really remember of Mr. Pipilix is of recent. I say recent. It was not long ago.
Yeah. I know what you're gonna say.
Spoke about before.
Yeah.
The rebirth scenario. I say scenario situation where he was pretending. Okay, people maybe heard you spoke about this before, where Superman's identity got told to the world, and then Superman died. New 52 Superman died. So pre-crisis, the post-crisis old universe Superman became Superman again, and people were like, hey, but you're Clark Kent. He's like, no, I'm not Clark Kent. I could prove it. And then he was like, wait, what are you talking about? I am not Clark Kent. And then Clark Kent came and like, yeah, I'm Clark Kent. That's Superman. And even he was confused. I'm like, wait, what? And then the whole mystery for the first, I want to say 12 or the first 2 arcs of Rebirth Superman was, who is Clark Kent? And then you find out that it's Mr. Mipelix. And then he's getting his revenge on Clark because Clark forgot about him.
Yeah. Something like that. It's something like, so Mr. Oz kidnapped Mrs. Picklet and he disappeared for however many months, right? And he's like, Mr. Picklet, like when he regained his memories, was like, Superman, you forgot all about me all this time. Like every time I come to you every 90 days to play games and whatnot, and you and I'm moving around for ages, and you left me for dead. And yeah.
So that was their. Then Superman's like, dude, I don't think I'm the same Superman. You.
Not only that, it's like, how am I supposed to know you was kidnapped? I don't know. I can't. I only know what I know.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and then later on, Superman's identity got revealed again. So it was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Anyways,
wait, is he okay? Do they currently know that he's Superman and Clark Kent in the?
No, because Manchester Black, Luthor and Manchester Black. So Lex Luthor got Manchester Black to wipe everyone's memories of Superman being Clark Kent. That's how they put that one back in the bottle that time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lex Luthor wiped his own mind because he can't have, if no one's going to know, it, like something along the lines of, you know what, I don't want to know who that he's Clark Kent because he's my greatest nemesis, and I challenge I only want to fight Superman and not this jabroni. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Metallo.
I know Metallo from mainly, once again, the Superman. Yeah, I know him from the Superman cartoon. That's really about it. Yes.
Yeah, I think his basic gimmick is he's the dude with the kryptonite heart, the cyborg, semi-cyborg human person. But it's just like, all right, you know. Oh yeah.
Anything else? Like
yeah, he's been in Supergirl, the TV series. He's also been in Smallville. I think he was in the Lois and Clark series as well.
That rings a bell, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, in I think the New 52 continuity, he was he's an army person. I think he's always been an army person, but he's been like a creeper to Lois. Oh, Lois, I know your dad. Come and date me and whatnot. And Lois is like, John, please, you know.
Yeah, like dude. Yeah.
And this guy just when he can't take no for an answer, but aggressively he can't take no. It's like, oh, you think you're too good for me? Like, oh my goodness. Right. So you're gonna try and convince this woman that you are attracted to go out with you by threatening her.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Great logic there, John. Great logic.
That seems like it's gonna work out for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But as far as like significant stories and stuff, like actually, you know what? It seemed like in New 52 that John Corbin was more of an emphasis of Steel, because his creation caused Steel to get created as well. Because you know how they compressed the timeline and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So John Henry Irons was creating a cyber suit. Like he was a scientist working at Cadmus while this was also happening. So he had to get his Cadmus Steel suit to fight Corbin, I believe. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I would say he's a mainstay Superman villain.
Yeah.
And I think they enhanced him somewhat in some of the other things. They gave him telescopic arms and laser eyes and stuff like that. But yeah,
because if I remember correctly, like over the years, I remember him being like a human with like, well, not a human, like a cyborg. He's got like fleshy parts, and then he's got the kryptonite part thing, and then he's sort of become more and more robotic looking.
Yeah. I think it was more like one of those things where he just had the kryptonite. For some reason, he needed a kryptonite heart to survive, whatever, right? Because it's kryptonite poisoning. So how can you be like, all that, right? But then I think over the years, he got less and less human and more robot parts because he kept on trying to fight Superman and he kept on getting injured. And then he blames Superman for why he's more machine than man, because he lost his humanity. He's like, no, dude, you just had to just take your kryptonite heart and just go away and leave him alone, you know. Then that way he's not, you know. But then I guess the people that created him were like, you have to do it, otherwise we'll take your heart and you die. So he was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Though I think New 52 Superman also, John Corbin, also, it was a Brainiac thing as well. So I think they created the suit for John Corbin.
Yeah.
Then Brainiac took it over because he was involved in a story, and then they did damage to John Corbin's heart where he had to have a kryptonite heart or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And I think because New 52 had to compress everything together, they kind of tried to do the most convenient things to set the timeline not straight, but yeah. Let's get everything all. Yeah.
Let's
okay.
Condense so much history into like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cyborg Superman. Now we did a whole podcast on him already.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we just come to the conclusion that, that dude, he needs therapy. He's just so depressed. He just wants Superman to kill him, but because he's not a physical living entity, he can't die. Yeah. And I think they, you know what? What I can say about him is, I mean, he's petty as well, right? As most of these guys are, but he kind of transferred to the Green Lantern enemy roster.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Even though you couldn't have Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns beat up a Superman who's more potent than Superman himself, because he's got Superman's abilities with the manipulation of technology.
Yeah, it was kind of overpowered. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say that his own desire for homicidal tendencies or suicidal tendencies, because he wants to die, kind of holds him back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there's also 2 versions of him, isn't there? There's the
Kara Zor-El version. I mean, not the Kara Zor-El, the one that's her uncle or dad or
her
something.
Dad. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
What's his name? Wait, what is Kara's dad's name again? Something Zor-El, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zor-El. No, I'm joking.
I want to say Zor-El. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. it's one of these. I think his character, he's probably had more development through Green Lantern comics than in Superman comics, because he's just like, Superman, quote unquote, killed I killed my own. Well, Superman tried to save us, but I almost killed my family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of that, I have beef with Superman because I could have saved them, and I didn't because of him. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think as a member of the roster of Superman villains, yeah, okay, makes sense. I think when he did as well, put the Superman Revenge Squad together, it was him, Zod, and the Eradicator, and some other people as well. Mongol was there, some of the other ones, right? Yeah. But I'm like, if you're gonna have all this, the reverse and inverse Supermans, why didn't you just put Bizarro in there as well, just for the jokes?
Yeah.
You can't control Bizarro there. That's the problem, I think.
Even though, like, technically now Bizarro's become a good guy in it. So.
Yeah. Okay. We're on to Bizarro anyway. So give me what you were saying about Bizarro.
Oh no, that he actually has he actually been ever taken as a serious villain?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Though I will say at the beginning of whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, because Bizarro was the first villain that went overboard, right? He was like, okay, and this logic works in the Bizarro logic, yeah? It's just like someone nudged him a bit more to bring his Bizarro logic to the next level of bizarreness, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, well, if Superman's a superhero, right? And he saves people, I, as Bizarro, the reverse Superman, must kill all these people. And he starts murdering people. And then he's like, yeah. This is how we get to be the best version of the reverse Superman. In fact, I tell you what, yeah? Superman's alive. Like, because Superman comes to stop him. And he says, Bizarro, are you doing this? Because Superman, yes, glad you're here. Well, he says in Bizarro speak. But the thing is, Superman, you're alive. And for me to be the best version of the reverse Superman there is, I gotta die. So he brings out blue kryptonite and kills himself. I'm like, alright, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, and then he says, hello, Superman. Hello. And I'm like, what? Okay. That's logical extremes to the exact inverse logic of Bizarro. Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm not sure about the square planet stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know there's a Zibarzo. The Zibarzo?
Yeah, that's the Bizarro Batman, isn't it?
No, that's Batzarro.
Oh.
Zibarro is the Bizarro version of Bizarro on Bizarro World.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a normal person. Which is a normal Superman type person. Yeah. As in the Grant Morrison All-Star Superman.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and he was going crazy because not going crazy, but he's like, look, I'm the only logical person in this illogical world, you know.
Kill me, yeah.
It wasn't like kill me. It was just like, Superman, please help me, man. What was the other thing? No, but Bizarro was in Smallville, and the only reason you knew that is because he was like, I'm like you, just a little bit more. You know, he's another version of Clark Kent because I'm like you, just a little bit more bizarre, and then the light hits his face.
Yeah,
and
kind of like not pixelates, but yeah,
crystallizes and whatnot. Yeah, but I only had that enough for that special effect at that time because then the rest of it was normal Tom Welling playing both roles.
Yeah, I didn't like that version of Bizarro.
Yeah, and then we have the Bizarro from the TV series.
Yeah,
Superman and Lois TV series, which evolved into Doomsday, which made sense.
Wait. Yeah. For some reason, I thought you meant the old.
No, Lois and Clark. Yeah.
What?
I will say Lois and Clark. There was a Bizarro Superman, but not really. It was just Superman playing a childish version of himself. That wasn't, you know.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen the Superboy Bizarros as well, where they just they got like a really boxy kind of jagged head on top of their head.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the ones that is like he's wearing a mask or something like that, but it just looks like an extra big angular head.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. And some of the bits I remember from Bizarro is he was racing Zoom, and you know, Zoom can manipulate time.
Yeah. So
it was a race to the finish line, except Bizarro, because he had to outrace Bizarro, and Bizarro wasn't running in a straight line. He just had to try and keep in front of Bizarro, but Bizarro kept on making sharp turns and stuff like that, right? There was no finish line, and he was like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Do you like the new 52 version of Bizarro? The that one that was made during Forever Evil?
Yeah, I didn't mind that version. I can't really remember much of him, but I did like how he was a clone that Luthor made for just in case Superman disappears.
Yeah, or you know how it is with Luthor. He's like, oh yeah, I made a clone of you to stop you, or stuff like that. But really, just no, I made one so I could try and defeat you. But yeah, Lothar, you're saying, by the way, Lothar from Defenders of the Earth. Yeah, Mandrake's cohort.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyways. And he was subject B0, which I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But makes sense.
Get it.
Yeah. There was also in the Superman 78 comics, there was a B0 as well. B01. In a chamber somewhere, right? In one of the panels. So it's like, okay, they're using that one as well. They're using that same sort of that version. Oh, well, technically speaking, wouldn't that mean Nuclear Man is a Bizarro? Yeah. But not really. Actually, I don't know if you've seen the footage of Nuclear Man, Bizarro, a more genuine Bizarro before they had to reclone him to make Nuclear Man.
No.
Oh, yeah. Not great. It's not great footage. I mean, it's not great. Right, but he's more Bizarro. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's big funny.
ish. And he's got weird spiky hair and stuff like that. But yeah, as the reverse version of Superman, who speaks in double negatives, triple negatives sometimes, and he has ice breath. No, he has fire breath and ice being eyes. Oh, okay. But then would that mean he would be weak and brittle because Superman's strong and invulnerable?
If you want to think of it like that, then I suppose.
Yeah.
Question. I don't know if you actually know this.
No, probably not. But go on.
Is the Bizarro from Forever Evil one the same Bizarro that's in Red Hood and the Outlaws?
Oh, I don't actually know. I don't actually know that one. That's a good question. He does look like the same one, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't know if he might be B2 or whatever.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I can't actually remember because the worst thing is I actually remember I read all like the first couple of that and I've forgotten like what that looked.
I do think as well. It's a neat idea, like you were saying. But I think when we were talking about Red Hood to another version of the DC Trinity.
Yeah.
With the kind of anti-hero versions of those characters.
Yeah. The Bizarro, who became smart and that stuff in the end. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and didn't he become like King of Hell or something? I can't.
Did he become King of Hell?
Yeah, at the end of Red Hood and the Outlaws, and he becomes like King of Hell or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That's all right. That's next level for Bizarro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to see a live action version of? I think Bizarro is more of a TV character. Okay, I would say Bizarro, if you're making a film, he'd be not the main villain of it. He'd be one of the side tangent villains ish. You know. I don't think you could make a base a film on Bizarro being your lead villain.
I don't. Yeah, but then I think he'd be one of them like sort of throwaway villains in a film.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, let's say, as a character that you probably able to use in a series and whatnot, right? Yeah. Why would you use Bizarro if you got Cyborg Superman, for example? Or General Zod, you know?
Well, I say I literally got
yeah. By the way, we were speaking about General Zod earlier in Justice League God and Monsters.
Yeah.
That Zod is not Zod. I remember. That Zod is the son of Zod.
Okay.
So he basically shoved. He just. What is it? I watched it. I can't remember, but I was just gonna say for jokes. He just shoved baby Kal-El out of the rocket and put his son in his stead.
Oh wow.
I don't know if he actually did. I can't remember.
The thing is, I actually would believe that.
Yeah, and then he put his Kryptonian whatever program in there to tell the son of Zod that dominate the planet because that's how we roll, bro.
Baby.
yeah. It's like if Vegeta got sent to Earth instead of Goku.
But then if he banged his head, he'd still be the same.
Yeah. Okay. Moving back. All right. What do you think of the prankster?
I often confuse the prankster with the trickster because they pretty much are the same character, right?
Yeah, and the Toy Man as well, right?
Yeah, they're all the same. Literally,
well, the trickster from Flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the only thing different about Toy Man is that he sometimes is a toy man or he is a man that likes toys. It depends.
Yeah. And also depending on the continuities, Toy Man's creepy because he have those certain tendencies that Ron mentioned. Yeah.
And then
but I don't know if they went full through with that because they also did that with Mad Hatter.
Yeah, because Mad Hatter he is one, right?
Yeah.
But then
but no, but his one he's slightly different because he doesn't go that far. If you know what I mean, it's like he likes to. No matter how I say it's going to come off weird, yeah. But he likes to befriend children, not in any suspicious way.
Yeah.
He just likes to be around them.
Yeah.
Wow. But he comes worse each time I say it.
It does.
But prankster. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Why do you need prankster when you got Mixer's Pickling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one.
And not only that, but all I know is that with prankster, they just try to shuffle a prankster version to become a Nightwing villain, and this was a younger prankster, so prankster might not have existed in New 52.
Oh, okay. They
tried to make a version of the Joker for Nightwing, but like a less lethal version.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's as much as I know about that guy.
Even though you don't need to make a Joker for Nightwing. What's the point?
You know what we should do? We should go through Nightwing's roster at some point because he doesn't have a great one.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But you got no. You probably know. Do you know less about the prankster than I do?
Yes. As I legit thought he was another character. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But okay. The Parasite. Now, this is a guy, by the way, I could see if they were to use in a movie, or they could put him in the Suicide Squad. Something like that. There's potential with Parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say that a bit hesitantly.
Has he been a part of the Suicide Squad?
No, he hasn't. I don't think. But when you need the big brute.
Yeah. But he's another character who I sometimes think like he gets especially in like cartoons, like in media he gets used way too much.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, yes, he was in the animated series. He was in Supergirl.
Yeah.
I think was he in? I can't remember. You say that way too much, but now I'm thinking I don't remember him in too much other things.
Because like he's in he was in Superman animated series and he was in Justice League, even though it's all the same universe, but like he was in that. He was even in Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he was in the Young Justice cartoon as well.
Yeah.
And then why do I feel like he was in Smallville?
I have a feeling he was as well, but I just can't remember. I just remember. I just don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he was in the recent Tomorrowverse Superman stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was. He's in Superman Man of tomorrow. I'm pretty sure he's the villain in that.
Yeah.
And then was he in Lois and Clark?
I don't recall him, but then again, to be fair, that's a 30-year-old series now. Yeah.
Superman and Lois.
I also don't recall. I don't think he's been in it.
I feel like he has.
I don't recall seeing him in it at all.
Oh. Why am I thinking he is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he's used too much.
Yeah. Well, I feel that he's kind of a flexible character because obviously he's like that the insatiable greed sort of character, if you know what I mean. But because he uses up energy and he needs to be resupplied energy, and they can make it a bit more of a sympathetic character. Though sometimes I think, in the 50s and 60s and 40s and stuff, they didn't think about those things. They'd be like, "It's evil for the sake of evil." So
yeah,
But I think that since the late 80s, they tried to give a bit more character to people.
Okay. Yep. He was in Smallville. Yeah, he was. Okay.
Oh yeah, what did he do?
And he was in Superman and Lois. Yeah.
Oh really? What did he do there?
It says we're in blah 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 portrayed a variation of Amazon. Oh, he was. The parallel universe.
Mm-hmm.
That woman.
All right.
She was a version of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Huh.
And in Smallville, you're saying?
Smallville. I just saw that. 1 second.
He was
in the episode Injustice, portrayed a metal human prisoner at Black Creek facility before Tess Marker staged a prison break and recruited Jones among other prisoners into a team in hopes that they would become heroes while training with the team.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say I don't recall his appearance at all.
It was during the Doom. It had something to do with Doomsday scene here, so okay.
I don't.
I was right. He was in Young Justice. Yep. And he was in Justice League Action. That was a kid cartoon.
Yeah.
He's in Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Adventures of Superman, that new show. Yeah, I'm saying he's been in he's just in everything. Why?
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, I mean, you have knowledge of the character and he's been around, but I had no specific thing that I've read that he was in.
No.
All right. Okay. We got some other cursory villains, but the Superboy Prime is more like, I'd say, a universe kind of villain, even though he's Superboy. Yeah. It's like a bit more how Darkseid got done in the New 52, where he's like a threat to everyone rather than a specific person.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah. And he's got a quite a history, which we won't go through now, because he's not really, like I said, he's more of a side tangent Superman villain rather than, when they put Deathstroke as a Batman villain, but he's not really a Batman villain.
Yeah.
He's more beef. He's got beef with the Titans, and therefore beef with Nightwing, and therefore beef with Batman. But,
yeah,
he's not specifically beefing with Batman.
No. He's just okay. Batman, me and you are kind of similar. Huh.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Yeah. No, I'm a super soldier. All
right. Yeah. So, but we'll deal with him another time.
Another time.
Yeah, he's got a whole sort of he's got a whole
backstory.
yeah.
Oh, the best way of putting it. Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. Manchester Black and the Elite, not Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks super kick of Superman. That didn't happen, right?
Oh, yeah,
but no, it would be great, wouldn't it? They'd have to somehow bust through script. I think instead of explosives tied on their shoes, they got kryptonite tied on their shoes, and they could super kick Superman.
Kryptonite grenades. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Anyways, onto the actual Elite. Now, have you read the story, Whatever Happened to... No. Yeah, Truth and Justice, The American Way? Is that what it's called? The title of it?
can't remember.
Because
I know him from there was a
Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an adaptation of this comic, but you go in and tell the story because it's basically the same story.
Like, what I sort of remember is the Elite tried to propose as good guys, right?
Yeah.
And then Manchester Black's like a telepath, sorry, like a real strong one. And
By the way, the way you said it, right, is you went super English for 1 minute.
I know, I realised I was saying like a telepath.
Really, really British. He's a telepath.
It's a telepath. And then, I just remember Superman. I want to say he tried to give Superman like brain cancer or a tumor or something.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
It actually is a bit like Kingdom Come as well, where it's like Superman, you try to save these people with whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that's not our goal. Our goal is to take down the threat. You know.
Yeah. And then I just remember Superman looking crazy at one point and fighting him.
All right, okay, I'll clear it all up. I'll clear it up for you, right?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. So they're like the Elite with Manchester Black. Like, yeah, we're here to. If we take down if we kill the bad guys, they ain't come back, right? Yeah. So Superman, why you kill them? And then Superman, first, Superman's all powerful, so they don't need to defeat them, kill them, right? That's one way of putting it, right? But it's like you're just gonna make things worse another way, right? You don't inspire hope by doing that.
No.
So they're like, you know what, Superman, you're getting in our way, right? So we're gonna beat you up, and they do.
Yeah, he has a sister, doesn't he?
Who, Manchester Black?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a Blackpool Black, right?
That's it. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
There's something stupid.
But yeah. So then, they all trashing Superman with their various powers and whatnot. And then he's like, "All right, well, I tell you what's going to happen, Manchester Black, right? I'm just going to wipe out every single one of your teammates as well, because look at the amount of power I got, right? You're separate people. You don't have combined powers like I do, yeah. So and I'm invulnerable. So bam, 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 and he just basically murders, or it looks like he murders each one of the group one by one.
Yeah, that was it.
And he goes to Manchester Black. I tell you what I'm going to do, boy. I got laser vision. And telescopic vision. I can see through your eyeballs, yeah, your brain, and I can see a little bit of a tumor there, and that's probably where your perfect powers are. So I'm going to cut that out.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
And then Manchester Black's like all cowering, going, "You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do brain surgery on me. You can't kill me. You're Superman. You don't do these things." He goes, "Well, no. You and the Elite told me them ways were wrong, so this is what you get, right?" And then Manchester Black is like, "No, he can't be, no." And then you're just as bad as us now. And then Superman's like, "Well, I actually did not kill everyone, by the way. Here they are. I just knocked them all out. Yeah, I just used my powers in creative ways where you never saw me do certain things. And in fact, Manchester Black, I never cut out that tumor in your brain. I shot you with blasts of heat vision to just give you a concussion, so you couldn't use those abilities, and you thought you were nullified." And then Manchester Black is like, "Oh, I'm a hypocrite. Oh.
That's so convoluted.
Yeah, and I think he died. He then, I think he helps the Suicide Squad or something like that.
I think so.
In some sort of mission where he dies, and that's where we were saying before, Luther then decided to Manchester Black's dead, but he's like, "Well, why are you gonna let dead people rest? Nah, I'm gonna hook him up to a machine with his brain, right?" And just wipe out the knowledge of Superman's identity from everyone, because I owe Superman, but Lex Luthor can't owe nobody. Nah,
never.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like you said, he has a sister. I don't know too much about her.
No, because I know she's in that.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. That's all I sort of remember.
And there was an adaptation of that, the live action version, because they did it with Supergirl instead.
Okay.
Oh, what's so funny about the Truth, Justice, and the American Way, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Manchester Black was. Yeah, Manchester Black was black instead of white. Yeah. So yeah, And I don't want to say it wasn't the guy. Who's the guy who played Killer Croc?
I forgot his name.
It wasn't him. It wasn't him, but it was a dude that sounded like him.
I know you're talking about. He'll come back to me at some point.
Yeah. The dude that was in The Bourne Identity, and he said they will never kill me dead, and then he got shot.
They'll never kill me dead.
Oh no, yeah, something like that. Anyway, I missed and Mr. Echo from Lost. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I used to know it, and then he disappeared for years, so I've just forgotten.
But I think Manchester Black, like Magog, where he's like not the other side of the coin, but like a similar reflection. You know.
Yeah.
Magog being. So Magog has got a bit of a wacky situation as well, where he's the Gog passes energy down to Magog to be his like Silver Surfer ish sort of thing, and then in Kingdom Come, I think they'll find a parasite of someone that's radioactive, and maybe it was Metallo. Anyways, cause a whole massive radioactive nuclear explosion in Kansas or wherever it was. And then he's like, yeah. He's like, it's Superman's fault. Because he wasn't there to inspire, Magog killed the Joker, and then he's like, in Kingdom Come, killed the Joker, and then he's like, yeah, violence, that's how we do, Punisher style, yeah, right? And so then when when Superman goes, okay, allow this, peace out forever, right?
Yeah.
And Magog then starts causing more trouble and killing villains like straightforward ways. Causes that, and he blames Superman for not being there to stop him destroying the guy and causing a nuclear explosion. What?
Wait, that's Magog's that's his backstory.
Well, that's the Kingdom Come version of the backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, because then they sort of made him like part of the DC universe, like
yeah, there was a version. Okay, there was a pre-New 50. No, there's a pre-Crisis. No, there was a pre-Infinite Crisis version, I think, but I don't know too much about that. But after Infinite Crisis, where Kingdom Come, the nuclear bomb happened in Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Right. In book 4, where Captain Marvel just caught it and said Shazam a good couple of times, right?
Yeah.
That teleported Kingdom Come version of Superman into DC Prime Universe.
Yeah.
Where then Magog, they found Gog, and then he created Magog because one of these soldiers dudes that was one of the soldier dudes superhero guys, he died or whatever, right? And then Gog was like, I brought him back to life. I'll bring him back to life as my disciple or something like that, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. So Mixes Picklick, every version of him is meant to be the same version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cartoon version,
yeah,
the
all
new
like,
52,
it's like
the new 52, the pre-52, the Lois and Clark version, they're all the same being.
Yeah,
they're not literally the different character versions of the same character. He's the same character because he can go through different dimensions.
It's just like one of him. It's like because they kind of done that with like in Transformers.
Yeah,
it's just like a random side tangent. There's this monster planet, this robot planet called Unicron who eats planets and all that stuff. He's apparently the same. He's like multiversal, just one of him, and he's in every universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that. I thought he died in the Transformers the movie in the 80s.
Oh, that's what they wanted you to think, but he's not. It's some weird thing. I was like, okay.
Okay. Well, I can believe it for a fifth dimensional imp. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. There was another character they tried to do it with. But I forgot
in what?
It was.
In fiction, you mean, or just in general?
Fiction. They tried to do. I think they tried to do that darkseid at one point.
Oh yeah.
There's just one of him, and he's in every dimension or whatever. But I don't.
Yeah, Apocalypse is his own New 52 reality, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't say they tried to do that. They recently tried to do that. They tried to rework him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which okay. Makes him a bit more unique.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, if it makes him if it gives him a bit more.
Yeah.
Something. You know?
Trying to give him a bit more. He's already got everything, but sure, okay, I guess.
Well, yeah, but they need to rehabilitate him. That's so.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So you know, I mean, not to say they needed to. They have rehabilitated him. So I you know, readjusting him to be only one. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I suppose. Yeah.
All right. What do you think of all the smaller time villains? I would say that Superman has. You know, the criminal villains like Intergang, Bruno Meinhelm. Not Bruno Meinhelm. What are we talking about? Bruno. Is that his name?
I think it is.
Manhim. Minor? I don't know. I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
And I feel like you're saying it right because I can hear it from Lois and Clark, Superman and Lois. Sorry.
Yeah.
The thing is, mine. It sounds right.
Yeah. Morgan Edge and all that stuff.
Oh, do you mean Clark's brother?
What? Go on.
In Lois in Superman and Lois, Morgan Edge ended up being.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yep.
Clark's half brother.
Yeah. Even though in Supergirl was a different Morgan Edge. So okay.
Yeah, and that's
yes.
That's what another thing that made it weird, and then they said, "No, this is a different universe than the Arrowverse."
Like, yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Intergang, yeah, I knew him from the cartoon, but then I found out about their comic book version. I was like, wow, this is some weird stuff. You know, they're into like alien satanic stuff and all these weird things. Like,
okay,
that's different. I
guess. Yeah, it used to be like, to me, it was just they're smaller time. They're more street criminals. If that kind of look. Okay, fine. You could say they're more opposition for Clark Kent as a reporter than Superman, right?
Yeah.
But as Superman, he could just literally walk into their base and just be like, you're done. I've got the evidence. You can't hurt me.
Literally.
You don't know who I am. You can't even threaten my family. So,
literally, you know.
Yeah. I think if like you know, there's other heroes about in Metropolis like Guardian or Steel, right? Yeah. They could probably deal with these people. I don't say necessarily Steel because he could deal with more higher power enemies as well. But, yeah, he's just like, okay, they probably, yeah, they're too impotent for Superman to bother with.
Yes.
Even though you can say, oh, their crime is far-reaching and more underground. It's just that, yeah. Superman's got other people to bother with that could cause citywide destruction.
Yeah. So why is he bothering people that are stealing like experimental drugs?
Well, yeah, unless those drugs give you superpowers and all that, or crazy experiments that happen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some of these are just mob bosses, really. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, Guardian in Metropolis should be just dealing with these people a bit more. And when I say Guardian, I don't mean Jimmy Olsen version of Guardian.
No, you mean Thingy Harper, innit?
Yeah, exactly. John Harper, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. I not to cuss Jimmy Olsen version of Superman for Supergirl. He wasn't he's not the comic book version of Guardian. He was just, you know.
He's just there.
But yeah, I feel like if when these guys are used, they're more for Clark Kent to investigate with, and maybe he gets targeted by them because he's actually such a good journalist, and people don't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've read any significant stories with these mob bosses and whatnot, even though or corrupt whatever.
You don't really hear much about him. Right?
Yeah, because Lex Luthor seems to be the pinnacle.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the point?
Like, how can you out Luthor? I will say that the Ultra Humanite was the first version of Luthor before they made Lex Luthor.
Really?
Yeah. He was one of Superman's first nemesis, if probably his first one. And he was a mad scientist guy, right?
I did not know that.
And that was when Luthor still had ginger hair.
Okay.
And then he got mistaken for another character, a scientist character that had bald hair. Had no hair, right? A bald head is what I meant. And then Luthor then became bald, right? But yeah, the Ultra Humanite was a mad scientist before that, and then he was in a wheelchair. And then he decided he just transplanted his brain into different bodies and settled on an albino gorilla for some reason at the end. But the logic being, oh, you know what? He's strong. Yeah, gorillas are strong.
Yeah.
Hence, you know. But why an albino one?
Make them even stronger? I have no idea.
No, he knows exactly, right? Yeah. I'm like, okay, if you say so.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Even though I've seen that that albino, like, to be fair, he stands out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But what do you know about him other than he's albino gorilla with a human brain?
That's literally because he appeared again. He's a lot of Superman's villains and stuff. I found out from watching like the cartoons.
Yeah.
He was in that a bit, and he never actually seemed evil in that. He was just like, sort of like in this situation, so I just will go along with it.
Wait. So as far as you were concerned, in the animated series, he was just a dude. What was he? Just a hyper intelligent gorilla, which he just
basically
seems like he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh man, I've actually put my own brain in here and just realized, you know what?
Yeah. He never came off that way. Just like a super smart gorilla who's like, okay, I need to do this to carry on my life, so I'm gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, you know, when people, I don't want to say don't give dibs, right? But you know, when Professor Hugo Strange has been a longer lasting Batman nemesis than the Joker, except people know the Joker.
Yeah.
They really know much about Hugo Strange. Same with the Ultra Humanite, I believe. Like, you know, Luthor basically took his role and became more better version of him. So, in my head, he's like, well, all right. So if that dude took my place, I gotta get a gimmick.
Yeah, and that's
to differentiate myself.
I'm a gorilla.
Yeah. Then Lex Luthor transferred his own brain to his son, right? Well, I'll transfer my brain to a gorilla. Yeah.
And then I often see him, and I'm like, oh, so you're just basically kind of like Gorilla Grodd?
Yeah. Except Gorilla Grodd's got better gimmick because at least he's telepathic.
Yeah.
And he can siphon the speed force, so he's got some weather or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Ultra Humanite's like, I'm a being a gorilla who can make scientist stuff, yes. And then,
okay.
Yeah. But you're not as much of a scientist as Lex Luthor, and you're not as savage as Gorilla Grodd. So kind of, you know,
Yeah. What makes you special?
However, if he didn't have that being a gorilla body, he probably still wouldn't be around. So at least that's something for him, right?
Yeah, but how often do they use him? You know.
Yeah. He's tended to be around, but like you said, I don't. Actually, you know what? If I saw Superman fight an albino gorilla on the cover of a comic, I don't think, I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah, because I also think of what's that other guy? Masula in the Brain.
Yeah.
Another talking gorilla.
Yeah, exactly. Not to say there are many of them, but that gorilla gimmick is not exactly. Yeah, if he wasn't an albino gorilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Yeah.
And this is the end of part 2 of our Superman Rogues Gallery discussion. And the next episode is a lot shorter, so don't worry, we got you there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, subscribe, like I said, and check out other cool things on there. More things to come. And if you're listening to us on a podcasting app, whatever, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, leave a comment. We're trying to branch out, you see. And once again, I'd like to thank my friends at All Access Arcades. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in part 3, which we come in out soon. Very soon. Very, very soon. Anyway, guys, thank you for taking a trip with us around the Multiverse. Bye.